Hi everyone, my name is Natalia and I'm one of the Harley-Davidson fitness trainers here at PDC and at PTO. Today I'm going to be talking with you guys about different T-spine mobility exercises that you can do to either incorporate in your warm-up, your cool-down, or even just everyday life. You don't necessarily need to combine this with your workout, but it certainly does help. So first, T-spine is our thoracic spine, and it's just this middle portion right here. We have three different sections. We have our cervical, which is in our neck, our T-spine, and then our lumbar, which are the last 5 remaining vertebrae, usually just our sitting, where we sit. So the reason why you would want to do mobility exercise is to help move the joints that are in that space. So helps with lubrication, and it also helps with increasing the range of motion for the muscles that pass through those joints. So if you were to solely just do stretching and you're not really seeing any results, doing mobility exercises would help increase your range of motion, get a little more stretch on that muscle, and just helps overall alleviate any pain or discomfort that you might feel in your T-spine in this case. So the first exercise I'm going to have you begin with is the tabletop T-spine rotation. So for this one, just requires something comfortable underneath you. Could be a mat, could be a towel, just as long as it doesn't bother your knees. So for this first one, you want to make sure that your hands are right underneath your shoulders, and then that your hips are over your knees. So you want to make sure that you have this nice straight flat back here. If you find yourself like curving here, you can go ahead and sit back on your heels. That way your lower back is not in discomfort when you're doing this exercise. But we'll start here first. So shoulders are underneath hands, hips are over the knees. We can start with our right hand first. So right hand's gonna be behind your neck, and then your right elbow will touch your left elbow. And then once you're here, you're gonna rotate out to that right side. And for this one, I like to hold out here for a second or two before coming back in. And you'll feel a nice stretch in your upper back. So for the tabletop T-spine rotation, I like to do 12 to 15 repetitions per side. And about 2 to 3 sets, depending on your time. 2 sets is a good place to start with, but if you can definitely do 3 sets, do that. And then for those of you who need to sit back, you definitely can. The motion is the same. It's just that you don't feel this exercise in that lower back. So you can go ahead and choose whichever modification you need. And then the next exercise that I have for you guys is a lying foam roller T-spine opener. So for this one, you don't necessarily need a foam roller. You just need something that is pretty even and flat. You can use a brick here, a yoga block if you have one. Just kind of something comfortable where you can let your leg rest. So for this one, I'm going to start with my right leg on top of the foam roller. And my left leg is just going to be straight out like this. Okay. And then your right leg you want in a 90-degree position. So you can go ahead and adjust that foam roller however you need necessary. Your head is just going to rest on the side here. And then your left arm is going to come straight out. Your right arm will be right on top of your left. So another thing I want to point out here is your hips. The whole time that you're doing this movement, you want to make sure that your hips are not moving as you move. So here you're going to reach forward with that right arm as far as you can, and then you're just gonna open up. Okay, so reaching forward and then opening up that chest. And then for this one, you can go as far back as you can without letting your hips move you back. Because once your hips start moving, then you're compensating and you're not getting the full stretch of this mobility exercise. So this is your lying foam roller T-spine openers. You can do 10 to 12 of these, of this motion on this side. And then before moving on to your left side, I'm gonna have you do lying foam roller circles. So you're staying in the same position. The only difference is what this hand is gonna be doing. So you can start with your hands stacked on top of each other, and then you're just gonna be doing a circular motion with your arm. When you're here, your fingers can touch the ground, and then eventually they're gonna move away from the ground as you're completing your circle. And then this one, all these mobility exercises can be nice and slow and controlled. You really wanna focus and dial in on what it is that you're feeling and whether or not you're feeling a nice stretch through that joint. So for your circles, you wanna do 5 in one direction. And then once you do your 5, reverse the direction and do 5 going that way. And then once you do your 5 on your right side, then you can flip to your left side and start with the openers. So hips and shoulders are stacked on top of each other. This time your left hand's on top of your right hand. You're gonna reach forward and then open up. And my back just cracked. And then you're gonna do 10 to 12 here again. And then you'll do your circles, 5 in one direction, and then 5 in the other. And you can repeat that same thing, 2 to 3 sets. Depends on your time, depends on how focused you are when you're completing those exercises. And yeah, hopefully these T-spine mobility exercises help you guys. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to reach out to our email at hd-fitnesstrainers@harleydavidson.com. Thank you so much.